and get started. It is 10:01. We're a minute late.
We are.
Well, according to that clock, we're 3 minutes early, so we'll go with that. Split
Sorry,
the
I'm late.
difference. KW savings time. I like it. All right, you ready?
Hey, how are
You
you?
have a microphone?
Good.
All right, we're good. We're good. Oh, I don't need that. All right, well, welcome to team meeting. Is anybody else still, am I always the one that's a little shocked how warm it is at the end of September? I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be in fall already. I don't know how to dress.
Soon enough.
It'll be here soon enough. That's true. That's true. It'll be here soon enough. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get started as we always like to do. Here we go. Something good. Tell me something good. Lonnie, what you got?
The Chiefs look like the old Chiefs.
Hey, they did.
Well, it's kind of nice.
Some stuff
It was
happened.
a high octane offense, and they were slinging it around like the old days. And
I was wondering
gas
if they
pedal
still
down.
had it. I guess they do.
And my fantasy team took a thumping.
Wow.
Wah, wah, wah.
Who's winning in fantasy football? Who's doing well?
This guy right here.
Are you?
Oh,
Ben Farm.
that's the clue there. Fall asleep during the draft. I can handle that. All right, what else? Who else has got something good? Oh, Carrie, you almost raised your hand there. I was gonna call on you. Oh no, please don't call on me. Tim.
Okay, so today was day 2 of do bold homework in the market center. And
Yep.
between Sandy and I think we picked up 3 pieces of business
Wow.
during a really like a 40-minute call time because we shut down a little early for team meeting and so yeah, 3 really solid pieces of business and then a 4th one that's gonna be a referral.
Okay.
So yeah, 40 minutes. Of
40
call time,
minutes?
Probably, I don't know, maybe $30,000 worth of GCI.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me more about this power hour thing you're doing.
We just
Oh.
enter with our phone and go through our database.
Oh, you make calls?
Simple. Yeah,
Pick up the damn phone?
we pick up the damn phone. I went old school like Lonnie and I printed off my database and I'm doing well, mine's blue, yellow, and red because I couldn't find a blue highlighter. And it was eye-opening how many people got reds.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, like I have all these people in my database. I'm like, I have no idea if they'll use me. I have no idea if they even know who I am. Oh, this person's an agent. That person's an agent. That person's like,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
good.
real, like.
Yeah,
it was
it's
real
eye-opening.
Up
Yeah.
the greens or the blues, that number is real small in my database.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That would be an aha.
Yeah, it was a good aha. That's
Yeah.
that's a really good exercise for sure. So yeah, we're just going through a database, making touches, and there are care calls. Like the referral that I got, I called somebody who I did business with multiple times, but now they live in Florida. So I was like, hey, John, haven't talked to you guys in a while. How's it going down there? What's happening? And then like literally, I was just checking in. And then like, hey, good catching up with you. I'll call and bother you again soon. And then he's like, oh, hey, Sierra, his wife, her dad's going to be retiring in the spring. They're going to be moving down here by us. And we mentioned your name to him. So I need to make that connection for you. I'm like, yes, you do. And then he did. And so now we'll be in business with Rick and Jody. And
Okay. Well, that's something I've heard. I'm glad you brought that up because I've heard that not argument, but that objection, I would guess, from a couple different agents that are like, well, I'm new to the area. I don't know anybody here. Okay.
call the other area.
Call the other area where you just came from.
Yep.
They have houses there and we can make connections there, right? So
Absolutely.
I'm glad you didn't give up on the guy just because he moved to Florida. So, all right. Anybody else got something good? Ryan.
Getting out of my comfort zone just a little bit this week and trying something. I entered into a barbecue competition. Never done it before. Everybody tells me my food's good. Those are my friends and family, so they kind of have to. So no idea what I was doing. Got some great tips from Jake's dad. Last week I was just spinning a 0 ton. Get over there. It's like a marathon. These things are like I got an hour and a half of sleep in 2 days, and so really it takes it's an endurance type of thing.
Wow.
And to watch the smoker and to do all the things, I won't bore you with that. But at the end of it, I told them, I'm like, they were finishing up, giving out awards, they're getting ready to call names. I'm like, I don't care, I just want to go home. I get over, and then they called my freaking name for 10th place, which is 10th place.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like, you know what? Somebody thought my barbecue was actually decent. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I could do better than that. I know I can do better when I turn in. Getting
Uh-oh.
Into that next
It's-
spot.
So Stephanie voted for you, so you got your one vote.
Yeah. So, anyway, getting out of the comfort zone, that's what I say, in the things that we do outside of here besides selling real estate, just trying new things. Jumped into jujitsu a couple years ago, got my butt kicked again this morning. It's gonna happen, right? But it's okay to keep working on yourselves too.
Yeah.
in your business. Kudos to Tim, to Sandy.
Absolutely.
No, no.
Well, we would like the opportunity to see how good your barbecue is.
We could probably get that arranged.
Okay. Very good.
I got one.
Yeah, yeah.
I celebrated our 17th wedding anniversary this weekend.
17, wow.
We've both been now officially married as long in this marriage as we both were in our first marriages.
Oh.
That's a milestone.
That's
So, right, we had a great.
Good. Still going strong. Well, good. Well, congratulations.
I'm equally excited about the fact that you got to part ways with a crazy
I
client.
know, right?
Has anybody ever
With a
been
crazy
so
what?
excited to part ways with a buyer or a seller?
Uh-huh.
You've told me a bunch of stories. Yeah, Darren, you just had one, right? We've all been there. And it sucks in the moment, but literally you wake up the next day and your life just got easier.
Better.
Yeah. He's sleeping much better now.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah, because Tom can get a little wound up. You guys know that? Tom gets a little wound up.
I do get a little-
And this was a lady that could push buttons a little bit, right?
Yep.
I was
Wow.
happy for you when I find that. by the way.
Thank you.
Wow,
Thank you.
apparently. this
That's a
is-
big
that's
congratulations,
traumatized
but yeah.
people here.
Yeah, there's
But-
capping and then there's fire and a crazy lady. Yeah,
And did refer to. You're welcome.
thank you. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Will she stay in your database or not? That'll
No.
be.
You know what? I wish her well. I wish her luck and no, she's not
Yeah.
crazy. She was just difficult.
Yeah.
And we weren't a good fit.
Yeah.
Let's
There
put
you
it
go.
that
We weren't a good fit. So true.
Three more clients in the pipeline that are gonna be fun to work with, so.
There you go. I'm glad they're not all like that. All right. Anybody else got something good? Yeah, Chad.
License, test.
Oh,
Hi.
wow. I didn't even know.
4 hours for 90 questions. Oh,
You passed it.
I could have took another 30 minutes from.
So what are you gonna do with that general contract?
Oh, I got some stuff cooking. First year will come in with something good.
Like an investment, like becoming an investor.
Building.
That's awesome. Yeah, cool.
All right. That is, congratulations. That's a big deal.
Heck, yeah.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, if you got something good, stop by my office. Jake did that last week. Jake, you want to share that? That was really good.
Yeah, so, our neighbor, they have a little girl, Reese, my daughter's best friend, she's at my house literally every day, just like my niece. She, got diagnosed with cancer at 3, and it was a big, it was about 4 inches in diameter, in her stomach. And so they just found out about this about 2.5 weeks ago, and then went into surgery, got pulled out. And it's funny, my wife and I are just like literally pacing across the house, because we can't do anything, and the little girl would soon grow up. And so we're just texting everybody, I think they had probably thousands of plans for her. And they opened her up like almost like a C-section, cut, pulled it out, no cancer, none in the blood. It was very, very, they said somebody must have been watching over her. That doesn't, you don't get over cancer in 2 weeks, especially when it was kind of that far along. So she
Yeah.
got the all clear, she's all good at home. So it was cool.
That's great. Good stuff.
So Jake stopped by my office because when good news happens throughout the week, stop by my office. Chances are I could use a little good news, and I always like to celebrate. So definitely make sure you stop by. All right, we'd love to hear from our preferred vendors and appreciate y'all being here. Let's start with Lisa with Kaufelt Land Titles.
Lisa.
Check fraud and wire fraud.
Oh, I got something new for you.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll love it. First of all, I just want to mention, we do have the holiday coming up in October the 13th. It's, formerly known as Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day. So we are closed, courthouses, all that good stuff. So we won't be there on that Monday. The flyers that you see, the FinCEN flyers. This is a very big deal through the feds. The biggest thing to know about it is if you have a cash buyer that is an entity, LLC, corporation, trust, anything that is other than an individual person's name. They have to go through the FinCEN process of determining if we as the title entity has to report their transaction to the feds. It is for money laundering. I mean, ultimately, that's where it came about. So you have the information here. You can do some research on your own if you choose to do so. But what is extremely important about this is if you have a cash buyer that is a trust, is an LLC, is a corporation, then that is subject not only to the buyer's information being verified, but the seller's information being verified. This is not something a title company can make our decision on. It is a process that you literally have to fill out a form online and then through FinCEN, they determine or tell us if it's reported or not. The big thing on these is that after December 1st, this is when this all starts on and after, that if you have a transaction even that cancels, it still has to be reported to the feds. We legally cannot tell you, and not only the title companies could be liable, but also the title person can be personally liable, both civil and criminal, if we advise you on this information. We are expecting between now and December 1st, we're probably going to see a lot of deeds transfer from LLCs to individuals so that people are not having to deal with a lot of these, or contracts that are currently written, having amendments done to put them in individual names. The other thing that we're kind of expecting to see is people that normally would buy in their LLC as a cash transaction, maybe going out there and getting a little loan. The transactions with loans, be aware that if those are through hard money lenders, private lenders, those are still falling under what the feds consider cash. So it has to go through a lender that has bank secrecy actions in place. So a normal bank, a normal lender, whatever the case may be, but you can't have going out and borrowing a loan against the brother-in-law, or like I said, some of these hard money lenders. So the big thing I want to point out on this is so important. This is going to be a very big deal. We are going to be offering a training session on this. We have an actual committee in Caulfield that they've developed because of this. And one of those three that are on that committee is going to come and do a training session for everyone. So that's going to be October 21st at 1:30. I strongly suggest that you attend that. If you have any investors, if you have come across any investors that you work with, you need to, or are an investor, you need to know how to help those entities kind of navigate this. If you have any investors that you want to have attend, please invite them to do so. I'm hoping to have a packed house, to be honest with you. I feel like everyone thinks that this is just going to go away. This is not going to be a big deal. It's going to be a very big deal. It's going to slow down closings. We're not going to be doing 10-day closings on cash deals anymore because the process is just, especially in the beginning, is just going to flat take longer. So take it seriously.
Wow.
Anything?
But we might.
What if we
Yeah.
wait?
Yeah.
The big
Let's
thing
wait.
is I can't answer a bunch of questions on it, just as
Yeah.
Brandy's alluding to, but if you have something as far as like timing or something, I can help with that.
You think it's 30 to 3? Or do you think
He said to allot an hour for it. Give yourself a little cushion, in my opinion, because I feel like there's going to be a bunch of questions that's going to drag that out a little bit longer than an hour. I'm so sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Be recorded and put
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
I'll be
We'd
in
like you to
process.
be here if you can. If you can't, we will record it because it's that important. We want to make sure you have access to it. Thank you, Lisa. That's,
you.
October 21st.
Lisa.
Yeah. That is a Tuesday, but there is no team meeting that day. There's an ALC meeting that day. And it's at 1:30 in the afternoon. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. How about Todd Branson with Fairway Mortgage? Todd Branson.
Okay, so tomorrow, today, big day. Government shutdown. Let's talk about it real quick, how it impacts us. Okay, so I printed and put out about 25 of these little flyers that kind of give some of the details. It's internal memo stuff from Fairway, so it's not really written so that it's super easy to understand. So just looking at it though, just understand if you have a client, it kind of comes down to this. If you have a client who works for the federal government, almost everybody's okay, except that person that may be the IRS who's part-time. Some people who may work for USDA, they may be considered non-essential and they may not be working. If they're not working, there's a decent chance that the lender won't let you close the loan. Okay, so in the past though, I always look back at what's happened in the past because this has happened in my career. There's been 4 or 5 of these. And in the 90s, there was one that was like, 28 days, the world came to an end. And so back then it was way different. But today I would probably tell you this, that your VA and FHA loans are for the most part not going to have any interruption. Okay. We're a huge delegated lender, which means we make the decisions for them. So we're not impacted on the underwriting piece or any of that. You work with another lender that has to send everything to FHA for their approval or HUD, that certainly will be interrupted. Okay. So we're okay on that end. Some of the smaller lenders that don't have that delegated authority will be and could very well be interrupted. Okay. So FHA and VA probably in the clear. If we need something from VA, almost everything's automated, believe it or not. Several decades ago, nothing was automated. So there will still be people working at the VA. Things might be a little bit delayed. If we were waiting on like an exception or something like that, certainly expect some delays there. USDA, basically they just shut USDA down. So the essential part of USDA will work, but you will likely have problems getting your commitment, the conditional commitments that the lender gets from the USDA. That definitely will be pushed back. And right now their turn time is 4 or 5 business days. I've seen that go to 30. So be aware that if you have a USDA transaction in place, get with your lender and find out what's going on. I'm looking to you guys because you guys do so much USDA, right? Just keep an eye on that because you don't want to have a surprise October 18th on a closing day or something and realize that, the lender can't get information from USDA, okay? And if you had to switch your loan program, you may have to switch your loan program. I've seen it in the past. But VA, FHA, USDA, those are the ones you guys primarily do. But some of the stuff's in the weeds. Flood insurance, national flood insurance, likely going to be suspended. I mean, they will not probably issue new policies. There'll be people working, but some of that stuff that if you have a house in a floodplain, that has to go through the National Flood Service for insurance. That actually could be interrupted. So just be aware of little things like that. Okay. Any questions for me on this?
So getting a flood certification for a normal loan that's not in a flood zone?
Likely those are automated, that'll spit out. It's a good question, because sometimes when we run a flood cert on a house, if it comes up undetermined, we have to send it to a secondary look and they actually are pulling up elevations and things like that. I don't anticipate that to be an issue. Where I think the issue is going to be is if it actually has needs flood insurance, they have to issue the policy because that comes to the federal government. Expect that could be delayed. Just be aware that these things could happen. Hopefully we don't have a government shutdown. Hopefully they figure it out in the next couple of days. But our politics in our country right now could suggest that this could be a lengthy endeavor. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks, Todd.
Wow, we gotta find.
Anybody got anything positive?
No.
Good.
Let's go back to tell me something good.
Game today. Now, this is really good stuff, even.
Great.
Even if it's heavy stuff or hard stuff to understand and track with, I'm so glad we've got great partners and vendors that are in here to tell us and educate us you guys are, I appreciate you being here and you're hearing it from the best. And so, that's gonna make us better agents. I see Buffy, coming up with, they sent
Yeah.
the boss.
They sent
They-
the chief.
They sent the chief. Yes. You gotta focus because we have people watching online and I can't hear if you don't.
Good morning. A lot of you guys may not know me, but my husband is Austin, so he and I own the company. I'm just here to say, while he's doing an inspection for one of your guys' agents right now for me, so I'm filling in. Our daylight hours are getting shorter. So with frost in the mornings and sun setting earlier, our time of inspection is gonna, close in. So be aware when you guys need some inspections that my guys, probably need to do it sooner rather than later. So it's brief. I'm sorry, but I'm here to help. I'll stay after and talk to you guys some more, but that's all I've got for today.
Yay, positive.
Best shoes in the room, I think. No doubt,
Nice.
no doubt. I don't think, I know. Awesome. Thank you, Buffy. Appreciate you being here. She's a busy lady and we really appreciate her taking time out to come hang out with us today. So if you do have any roofing or solar questions, she's your girl. All right, I know Rustlin and Raylan are both elsewhere today and I don't see Matt. Alabaz. Nope. Okay, well, appreciate you vendors, appreciate your partnership and you being here today. All right, let's talk about listings, buyers, open houses. That's fun. Who's got a listing you want to tell us about? Caitlin.
Right, okay, so we have one coming soon, middle of October in Archie, 3-bed, 2-bath, slab home for $309. Our homeowner built it, I think, 4 years ago, so his mom's just ready for something different, so.
Okay,
Cool.
awesome. Archie. Yep.
Archie, yeah.
Josh has one coming in at 405 North Cleveland, Cleveland and Kenneth, just a block and a half from Glad Elementary. 3 bedrooms and a non-conforming fourth. It's a side-to-side split. It's a nice place, corner lot. It's $295.
295.
On Thursday.
Okay, good deal. Yes.
Got a great tri-level in Lee Summit, probably coming back on the market. We weren't able to come to a resolution. But so it's a great home, great floor plan. Everybody that's seen it loved the floor plan. I have a full inspection report, termite sewer. I have all of that stuff now. So if anybody's looking for a home in Lee Summit in the Vista Del Verde subdivision, right currently we're priced at $320. We have some things on the inspection report that would probably, the seller would be willing to negotiate on.
Okay.
We have a 94-year-old seller, so she's not getting on a ladder to fix anything,
Nope.
okay?
That's what you're for.
I've already done, yeah. I've already cleaned it out.
It is looked at.
All right, good deal. Tim.
I have a 4-bed, 3-bath in Pleasant Hill. The address is 1003 Truman Street, for $305. Super clean. They just repainted everything. Did some nice updates, painted the front of the house, new roof, new mechanical, new hot water heater for $305. It goes, pre-MLS today and we'll go live on Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Stacy.
And it's a unique place, like there's all over the place as far as what's built there. And so I'm struggling a little bit on the top with that. I don't know if anybody has, areas specifically, let me know, I'd like to go. Price that.
I sold one there a couple of years ago.
Okay.
There you go.
Great. Thank you.
That would be great. All right, Lonnie, what you got?
True Ranch, Raymore, pre-MLS today goes live Thursday. This is another great example. The people called me, they weren't in any category in my database. They were pretty much the general public. But what they were is people that bought my listing through an agent 13 years ago. 13 years ago. They called me and they said, hey, we'd like to talk to you about selling our house. I'm like, great, who referred you? And they're like, no, nobody, we just called you. And I didn't ask any more questions. I just took the appointment, right? I look up the property and it's a house that I had listed 13 years ago. And that's why they called me and they made that clear. Now they researched me and they'd seen our signs and our advertising, right? So, but I didn't really have a relationship with them other than that small tether that we were the listing agent. So anyway, it goes live Thursday. It's a True Ranch, finished basement, 4th non-conforming down. So it really, really cute house. And it's going on at 329.9 right here on Sunset in Raymore. We have a bunch of people trying to show it, literally show up in the pre-MLS. That does not work. By the way, not all the agents understand pre-MLS as what we're finding. So it has a good chance to go fast. Nice green porch on the back, cool neighborhood, really chill.
Cool. Great. Love that. All right, yes.
I've got 2 price reductions. I'd like to point out, this is a perfect time to lower prices. You tell them winter's coming on, the slow season, it's gonna rain, it's gonna snow. Let's lower that price or you're gonna. So I did that little speech on a couple that have only been on the market about 12 days. 10 acres in Peculiar, 4 bedrooms. It's actually the 4th bedroom's an apartment upstairs, 439. Did I say 10 acres? And then, Lee Summit, we just lowered to 309.9. Spotless, Mr. Clean lives in this house. He's got more storage bins stacked up perfectly in the basement and the garage than I've ever seen. They're all labeled. Spotless, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 309.
309. Okay. All right.
1412 Southwest Madison. It's real close to Abundant Life.
Very good. All right, anybody else, any buyer needs we need to know about? Yep, Steve?
You need all the exterior, maintenance provided, lawn care, so. She really wants to be in Good Ranch, any of those, 5+, she will be a cash buyer. Last her about 6 or 7, and she's very good.
Okay. Okay, we'll keep our eyes and ears open for that one. All right, any other buyer needs or listings coming on? Let's throw them in the Facebook group. All right, October's already filling up. This is our calendar. So keep an eye. I can't believe October is like tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Today there is a lunch and learn, DR Horton Homes. They will be here. Calvin Peterson will be here from DR Horton. That's the builder here in the area. They've got a couple communities. They want to talk to us about their communities. If you did sign up already, we'll have lunch for you. If you didn't sign up, come anyway. There'll probably be lunch for you. We'll see. It's Chipotle. Yes. Yes. So if that makes a difference. But like I said, if you signed up already on Facebook, we definitely have lunch for you. We always order a few extra servings just in case, but yeah, come listen to that. That should be good. We do have a committee update from our education committee, which is yay, Tom. Give it up for Tom.
Well, this is kind of funny because I really don't know what's going on with the education committee. Carrie handles all that. But between Carrie, Laura, and with the assistance of Brandy, they've been doing a great job. We have all these lunch and learns on the schedule and that. But I do want to talk about education because we've been receiving a very high level education this morning from our vendors. Todd, Lisa, we're going to walk out of this room today and we're going to know more about what's going on in real estate than most of our competitors, right? Because we showed up at this meeting today and took the time. You know, either we're here or we're online, right? So that's the leg up. And that's what we get from being in this office and coming to meetings. So ever since I've been in real estate, I have made it a point that team meetings are probably the most important thing to me because I get an education every time I come. I leave here knowing more than what I did. We have a master. We have several masters in this room alone that have mastered real estate. They're still learning, but I'm learning every day. And when I hear Lonnie Branson say, you know what, you take that overpriced listing, it's going to be a death march, right? Yeah, I believe him next time, right? If we don't make it clear that we're not going to do open houses every weekend, our clients will expect us to do open houses every weekend, and we'll be butting heads with them. So the education that is at all levels. Our mastermind, I leave that every time I have the privilege of joining it with something different. So our real estate license gives us permission to go sell real estate, right? But the mastery of our craft is what makes us true professionals. And we do that by learning, by coming and learning. And one of the greatest gifts I've received in life is I was in a career, I'm going on and on. I was in a career for 35 years, right? And I used to tell the manufacturers, say, hey, you need to pay me for training your reps. Right? I knew everything about that business, or at least I thought I did. And I probably wasn't, I got to a point where I wasn't willing to learn anymore. But when I came into Keller Williams in the thing, I was inspired to learn again. I had to. I didn't know nothing about what I was doing. And I was lucky to be placed around people that were willing to teach me. And that's what we have special here. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Tom. Can I add something to that? This piece of paper, guys, this is a complete pivot in how real estate will be transacted going forward. Okay. Let me just tell you right now, nothing against First Class Real Estate or Platinum or these other places. Their agents aren't even going to understand what the hell this is. I will bet anything on that. So if they're writing offers on your houses and they have a cash buyer and it's cash, it's a great deal. They probably won't understand this. You've got to understand how this impacts you on both sides. We need to be at that class in October for sure. It's going to be new to all of us. So we're going to learn together, but just know there's only certain things in our industry that are complete changes. That's one of them. Last year we dealt with the whole commission thing, right? We could decouple the commissions and everything. Oh, it's the end of the world. Was it? No, we're exactly where we were last year. So no,
Right.
this won't be there.
Just one comment about the calendar. This is kind of like a living document. It's changing all the time. Sometimes we have people that need to reschedule. Sometimes we have things like that pop up in our world. And Lisa says, hey, I've got to get on your calendar, stuff like that. So always be checking the calendar because this one's even changed since we uploaded it last Thursday. Notice that there's nothing on the 21st about the Finson thing. We don't have anything on Monday yet, but stay tuned. We will have things on Monday. This is a working document, and Lacey is always working to keep the most updated version pinned to the top of our Facebook group, so you can find it easily. All right. Let's see. Great job, Tom, by the way. Good job.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. All right. Now let's hear from Stephanie, our culture committee chair, who's got this fun event to tell us more about.
So nice little whiskey bottles here, bourbon bottles. One thing we do need for our whiskey pool is more bottles. These actually came from Ryan's shelf this morning, so they are. I don't get to keep them.
They may be a little lighter on the way back.
Anyway, if you could donate some, that would be great. Ideally, 20 to 30 bottles is what we're after.
How much do we spend on that?
Minimum of 30, please. Yeah. Event November 1st. We need to get ticket sales going. Caesar pinned on the Southland Links page this morning. There were 2 tabs. Now there's 3. So you can order tickets right here. There's a little Google form that you fill out, how many tickets you want, how do you want to pay for them, and if you want a table to secure for your guests. They'll have a table, but if you want yours specific. And then also, if you have any vendors that you would like to refer us to contact, you can put them there as well. Once those come through, I will prepare your tickets. The tickets will have a special little spot where it says special guest of, and I will put your name in there. So that way, when you hand your tickets out and they check in, we'll know exactly where to direct them at the event. And real quick, shout out to our sponsors, Kaufelt. Thank you. $2,500 from them. Todd, $1,500. Apex, $1,000. And then our gold sponsors, $500, which is Royal. Thank you, Buffy. Pillar to Post and Carpet for Less. And then our event photographer, Ryan Coover, is donating his time that day for a sponsorship. And he will be doing video and pictures throughout the event so that you can share them with your clients and we can share them on our page as well. Questions?
You're awesome.
That's great.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie.
How many of you plan to be there at this event?
With a bunch of clients.
I was gonna say, how many of you plan to use it as a client event to reach out to your database? Okay. If your hand's not up, I would ask you, why not? Why not? She is making this as easy as possible, down to the detail of when they get a ticket, it'll say your ticket is courtesy of, or however compliments of your name. That's all-star red carpet treatment for your people. And she's handling it. Our committee and Stephanie's definitely taking the lead on that. So lean into this one big time. Lean into this. This will be great. Another thing that's not, yes, please. No. Is it about this? Because I'm moving on.
Yeah, it's on this.
Then do it. Go for it.
This was great. I'm sort of bold right now, and the lead generation aspect on this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't want everybody to come to the party because we talked about some clients we don't, but it's amazing.
Don't
You'll
invite
talk
your
to people, they'll be like, thank you so much just for inviting me. We can't.
Don't
make
invite your
it,"
buyer.
But it's a great way to reconnect with your database. So yeah, make sure you would be okay with it.
Yeah.
Go. But it was really, they feel appreciative, you know, that you thought of them enough to
Absolutely.
invite them to this party. So even if they can't make it, it's all right. And then have the opportunity to bring, 15 or 20 or really cool. So this has been a good opportunity just for me, and I hope everybody else is taking advantage of it as well. and I printed out the database. I didn't print, Stephanie did, but printed out the database for people, highlighted them for who we're calling on.
Yeah.
And it's so simple, and it's very quick, and you get through it systematically. And it'll be a great opportunity to network again with your clients and your referrals for them. So anyway, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. So I created a smart plan. If you want to use it, use it. If you want to use it and edit it to make it your own, do that. That is in the library. I posted about that last week. Or make your own smart plan or your own plan. It doesn't matter. Do some, we're trying to make this as easy as possible for you guys. So you can email your people multiple times. You can call them, you can text them, you can send them a video, send them an invite on Facebook. There's so many different ways that you can touch your people with this one event. So I look forward to having a big event. I think the event venue holds 600. It could be a big event. Let's make it big and make it fun. Because you know, the more people, the more energy you get in the room. I love that. All right, what do we got next? Darren.
Darren Jones.
DJ. So to echo Ryan, it is a lot easier if you print your database. I'd never thought about that. And you get in there and you're not looking at paper and you're looking at the computer screen only, it's like overwhelming. You got them printed out, it's easier. So great advice.
I do.
Because you're old.
Yeah.
So since Lisa didn't talk about fraud, I wanted to bring up a story that a thing that happened to me last week. I got a message. I didn't answer the call. I got a message from a guy that says, "Hey, I've got some land. I want to sell it." Okay, I can do that. Tried to call him back, got voicemail. Then we started talking through text, and it wasn't WhatsApp. I'm not doing that. But this guy was trying to sell some land that he didn't own. Super easy. We've got the resources to look up tax information, find out where the owner lives, go to whitepages.com. That's the one I use. Get phone numbers. And so I called the owner. He didn't answer, his wife did. I said, "Hey, are you guys trying to sell? Do you know, was your husband contacting me about selling some land?" No. So I explained everything to her. I was like, "Well, I'm sorry for the weird call on a Saturday, but here's what's going on." So I explained everything to her, and she said, "Nope, that's not us. Don't sell our land." I said, "Okay, no problem." About an hour later, he gets home and calls me, very grateful. He said, "You know, that land's going to my daughter or my granddaughter when I die." I said, "Would you adopt me?" Because it's about a $600,000 piece of land. And so we talked for a little bit, and he said, "You know, I've got 40 acres I might be selling in the future. I'll keep your number." Okay. Talk about unexpected, but guess who's getting a handwritten thank you card today?
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah.
But I may continue to do it. I mean,
It's like,
yeah, see if they own 2 or 3 different things and see if you can sell them.
Good job, Darren.
Good job, Darren. Good. And I love the picture. Is that a AI assistant? Of course.
I don't know how to print.
Much like this one. You don't know how to frown. That's a good thing. All right, we've got Caesar, our amazing MCA. Come on up, Caesar.
Thank you. Yes. All right. I actually wanted to give you guys a pretty cool update. I believe our AI class, I don't know how much longer we'll be going, but we've done it 4 weeks in a row. I think this last week was a little bit easier than last week. So if you got discouraged last week, please come back, Sandy. Joanna Rangel, if you're listening, Joanna and Glinda.
Yesterday was awesome.
But yesterday was smooth. It was a lot easier. The previous week, we kind of looked into a tool. But anyhow, I wanted to update you guys. And oh, how did that get in there? Oh, I'm kidding. I put that in there for you, Ryan. I recently belted up in jiu-jitsu. So anyhow, humble brag. But I wanted to give you guys sorry about that. Lonnie's not smiling. I wanted to give you guys a pretty cool little example. Obviously, Lonnie talked about images and copyright stuff and so forth. So not only can you take a picture like this, and I'm going to show you which AI we did. We actually did this live in class yesterday. Took 10 seconds. Everybody walked out with knowing how to do this. So it's on our video library. As a matter of fact, if you don't know where that's at, I've been working on it probably a week. Put it on our Southland links. When you go there, there's just going to be an AI section all to itself. Click on it. Our videos, our download documents, everything's going to be on there. But anyhow, so if you want to, you could actually generate a picture of a kitchen, or if you take a picture of one of your listings and one of the rooms is empty, we used an AI to do this. We just said, stage it for us, and it did this. Even though the image is not as clear as it looks, you know, when you download it, but this is on Canva. And then we just said, I wonder if it could switch that blue, you know, chair to a KW red, and just like that, boom. And then I told around it with this morning and said, it's way too cluttery. Let's get half the stuff out of there.
Oh, nice.
That's better.
Wow.
But what's so cool about this is just the fact that this is literally just telling it what to do and through prompts, and everybody knows about prompts now. So just the update is that a part of your KW command package, or actually most individuals don't know this. We talk about it all the time because we discuss every which way to keep costs down for you as agents. But one of the things that most of you don't know is that the 7250, which by the way is one of the lowest office bills in probably Kansas City. There are some that don't have an office bill, but they charge you in different ways. But one of the cool things is actually that all goes to Keller Williams International. We don't make 1 penny. As a matter of fact, we pick up a lot of, not a lot, but we pick up some of the costs for you as agents. And so a part of that 7250 is a technology that KW provides back for you, like Command. But also, if you are a KW agent, Gemini is a part of your KW technology package, and everyone has a pro account. All you got to do to sign up or actually turn it on is go to this URL, gemini.google.com. Gemini is Google's version of ChatGPT. And real quickly, in one statement, I will tell you guys this interesting fact about it, and that it's not only powerful, it's powerful with a whole lot of different type of horsepower like ChatGPT. And that is, it uses the entire Google, it's called an index library, all of the images, all of the links, all of the websites, everything. Google is the mother of all data loads. And they built Gemini off of that, including image generation. And one of the things that it has, as you just saw, is a video generating capacity. So Jake took a picture of his daughter and said, she's never smiling in this image, put a smile on her. Regenerated it, put a smile on her, and it looks legit. So anyhow, my whole point is this is a part of your technology package, and this is just yet another amazing way that KW provides not only value, but we want to take this value and show you how to up it 100 scale, scale it 100 times so that you get the most out of it. I don't think I did another. Oh, that's Brandy. But one of the things I will say real quickly is I just wanted to let you guys know about this. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's a lot like ChatGPT. So if you go there, it basically opens right up. It says, please, basically, terms and conditions, agree to not, take over the world and do something illegal or whatever, say yes, and then you're up and going. If you want to know a little bit how to use it, our video is in our YouTube channel, and it's on our Southland links. You can go to general video training. But like I said, we're going to put an AI section. Just this morning, this is one of the cool things, real briefly, is Gemini, since it's Google, you can turn your Google Workspace on, and all of the Google products, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Docs, tasks, reminders, Google Keeps, all of your emails, this sucker can work with it. One small example is you can say, this is what I did this morning. I took a printout of our MLS of our home as a PDF, put it into my Google Drive, just at a random location. I told Gemini, find in my Google Drive, find 4030 Southwest Granite Lane document, which is an MLS printout. Write me a Facebook post using some of the greatest features for it for a family looking for a house like ours. And boom, it just literally spit out. It went into my Google Drive, found it, studied it, came back and wrote me an amazing description. And so you can upload all sorts of documents and Gemini will go into your drive, find a document, tell you a brief summary. Another thing that I did, and you'll love this, Lonnie, is I told it, I asked it, what is Cass County market looking like right now? Please find out what it's been for the last 90 days and create me a brief Facebook post just to tell all my clients, potential clients, what's trending. Boom, amazing. It's up 4.5% from last year, all this kind of stuff. And it puts it, obviously, like we all know, in real cool terminology. So this is a tool that is already in your possession. If you want to activate it, there it is. And like I said, go to our AI page, which I'm about to put up there, and you can find out a whole heck of a lot more of how to use this tool. So
That also, can you put your bank statement in your Google Drive and let it?
yes, yes. So one of the things, I'll say that real quickly, and because I know that Brandy, every year, you know, she would sit down, print off all of our bank statements, and she would highlight, you know, monthly, yeah. But sometimes in the past, when we were learning, refining our system, it would just take days and a lot of grunt work and a lot of brain work. But anyhow, so you can drop all 12 months, you know, obviously 12 statements from your bank into Google Chat or Gemini and say, analyze all 12 months and give us a one-page printout for our accountant to be able to categorize, you know, the types of spending we do. And then boom, in about 60 seconds, you have what used to take us days. So just things like that. We this next Monday, if you want a good AI class, we're going to mastermind on how to use this. And it's so easy that even during class, Shelby was already creating 2 or 3 different ways to do it. We're like, what do you, because she was like, oh, wow. You know, so there's a lot of excitement around
Don't
this.
be excited. That's hard to
Yeah.
imagine.
So there's a lot of excitement around this, but I think that what AI is doing is it's still yet to be discovered in what really mind-blowing ways it can be used to leverage to put you way further behind, beyond what everybody else is functioning. So thank you guys.
Real quick.
Yes.
So this is already in paid, part of our system.
Yes.
How does this compare to like the monthly paid version of ChatGPT?
Well, there's two big, real briefly, because I don't want to take everybody else's time, but when you log in, it is paid. So when you log in when you are logged into your KW in Gmail, in your KW account, and you go to this URL, as soon as you accept conditions, on the top right, it'll be your profile picture from your Gmail account or your KW account, and it'll say Pro. So you're logged in, and yes, it is a paid version. There's 2 major ways, and this is a Google product. It's very Google friendly, but the biggest difference is the image generation, video generation, and this thing is a lot more of an assistant in OpenAI. But the other thing that I want to say real quickly is this is all your data that you do on Gemini stays with Keller Williams. I want everybody to know that. And ChatGPT is your private. So nobody has access to but you unless you share something. But with this, it is KW. But as far as listing out the features and advantages, we did that yesterday, and it's way too much time to take, but it's in the video. Yes.
I was messing around with both. The big advantage on this one was ChatGPT with all the pictures and video.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
It was much better on.
And one cool thing you can do is find every email from client, you know, Ryan Finn, who is arguing with me about this land. Find the last few emails, discover what his biggest objection is, and create me an objection handling approach. Give me the top 3 objection handling approaches that I can talk to him about. Boom, it'll read all of Ryan's emails, summarize them to me, and give me 3 objection handling scripts to talk to Ryan about. That's profound. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You guys get that we're going to a whole new world, right? And you can either be Paul Fife and lead, or you can trail. It's kind of up to you. Paul's been on this, what, for a year, roughly? Yeah, he's addicted to it. He sends me all the time, including videos of myself. But the reality is this is the direction our industry is going. It's going to make you more efficient. It's going to make you seem more competent. You know, I got one of those nasty letters from one of my tenants not too long ago, and she's a nice enough lady, but literally she can't spell her own name. And this thing was just articulate. Who do you think did that, right? Not her. I'm telling you that. So this is just where our industry is going. Get in there right away and start experimenting with this. I have to admit, at 6:30 this morning over a cup of coffee, I decided to prepare for a meeting I have later today using ChatGPT. I thought I'd
not?
never do that,
Why
and
not?
no possible way. Why not?
We're gonna
Yeah.
turn Lonnie into an AI whiz.
I'll be
Yes,
teaching these classes
Yes.
instead of Caesar very soon.
very soon. Very soon. All right, well, I've got something that, my part's gonna be small today, but I wanted to bring some practical, something you can use in your business today. And so, I've got a couple social media tips. Hopefully social media, I remember a few years ago, social media felt like everybody's telling us to post often, post everywhere, post all the things, but you run out of ideas. Like, what am I gonna post? Well, that shouldn't be a problem anymore now that we've got ChatGPT, now that we've got Gemini, now that we've got idea generating tools. So here's a couple of ideas. Here's one. Choose a quote that resonates with you. I chose one. Post a screenshot of it in a CTA. Everybody know CTA, a call to action. We want people engaging with you on your social media. A lot of times we post up something like, look at my flowers. Okay, cool. Think of that. Look at my flowers, but can you put a call to action? What's your favorite flower? Post a quote. Here's my quote. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. And then ask somebody, what does that mean to you? Or I would love to know what this quote means to you, and get some interaction. The goal is to put a call to action to your post. The reason is the algorithms, the more people engage with you, not just look at you or like you, but engage with you, and you engage back with them, it tells the algorithms, who isn't a person, right? It's this algorithm, that this person might be an influencer. This person might have an audience. And so the more engagement you can get on a post, the better. Here's another idea. Choose a picture from a recent trip. I don't know if y'all remember, this was in my memories this morning. Remember a year ago, and it's not quite a year ago, but in October, it will be a year ago, our family took a cruise right through with us and Hurricane Milton out in the Gulf of Mexico. We hung out together for a few days. And so here's maybe my call to action be, would you ever cruise through a hurricane? No? It was great. It was fine. I wouldn't choose it again, but I wouldn't run from it either. It was totally fine. But it starts a conversation.
Charge the storm.
Charge the storm.
I might ask, what does it actually say on Caesar's shirt?
Dunder Mifflin, The Office. He likes The Office. So here's another idea. Snap a picture of a book that you're currently reading. This is a book I'm currently reading. And tell me, my caption might be, tell me what you're currently reading, or what should I read next? Now, notice none of these had to do with real estate. And that's okay. Because our bold coach, she had this idea, and I like this. She said, jab, jab, punch, jab, jab, punch. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And how does that apply? Personal, business. So two personal posts for every one business post. And even on the business post, get them to engage with you. Always be thinking of ways to engage with your people. If you're going to post a picture of a flat tire, okay, we post it. But think of how can you engage with your people, and it could be, how many of you are getting on this and changing it yourself, or you calling dad, or I'll call Caesar. I'm calling somebody. I'm not changing it myself. I promise that. This was our biggest post, and it had to do with cottage cheese. This was last year's Bold. Caesar and I were in Bold together. See the Bold room. And this was from last year, November. I said, help us settle this argument. Cottage cheese, yay or nay? I love it. He hates it. I love to eat it with salt, pepper, and tomatoes. How about you? What do you think, Christian? Thank you. Thank you. I get another vote. All right. So if you notice how many comments, that says 350 comments about cottage cheese. So now I will tell you, now half of those were from me. The other half were from everybody else commenting, and I would comment back. So it's about that engagement. And so when you post, who knew cottage cheese was so controversial? In our family it is. And another one is cream of wheat. That stuff can just go away. Caesar loves it. So anyway, just think of something you can post to engage with your people. What's going to kind of get people riled up, even if it's in a fun way? Cottage cheese. Who knows? How many people like cottage cheese?
Aldi's.
All these best cottage cheese.
Well-
Who doesn't like cottage cheese? Tony.
And I responded to your thing.
Yeah. See, this is very polarizing. Very.
Which one was it, Tony?
Yeah, see.
It's a
it's-
thumbs
and
down.
It's fun to engage. This is the kind of stuff that bumps you up in the social media algorithms. One more. Say things that others won't say. What does that mean? Have you seen those reels that they draw me in every single time when it says the 5 foods I will never eat as a heart surgeon. Well, I'm going to click on that because I want to see that. Or the 5 things I will never let my child do as a trauma surgeon. Okay, I'm going to read that. I'm going to find out that we do all of that. But so for real estate, it could be, you could say, here's what I would never do if I, as a realtor selling my house, when I sell my house. So say things that people aren't saying. They usually say, here's the 5 best staging tips, or here's the, 5 things to do when you're selling your house. Maybe say, here's the 5 things never to do if you're selling your house. Show what others hide. Like for instance, maybe tell them, here's what an agent actually pays. They think we just roll and just collect commission, that's what we do. We pull up, open a door, collect commission. Just tell them a little bit more about the process, right? And that's exactly what we do, right? We just roll up, open a door, collect that check. Maybe tell them, who are the silent players in a transaction? Tell them, because they see the agent, they see the ones that are more visible, but there's a lot of people involved in a transaction. Tell them that stuff. People love that stuff. So always put people first, make it easy, quick, and 0 friction. People want to be entertained, so try that. And then let your personality shine through. Josh Fife does a great job with that. He says what others won't say.
That's for sure.
He shows what other people won't show.
People love it.
And people love it. And his personality shines through. So if he were here, I would give him, props for that. So. Squatty potty. All right. All right. Hey, it's kind of working for him. He's getting some traction there. So, all right. So just some thoughts there as you attack your social media this week. And that's what I got.
Good
Yep.
job, Brandy. Give it up for Brandy. Hey, this is timely, and we'll use Darren's example. Darren, kind of just at the general public, he reached out to the general public and now he has a prospect. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Based on that?
He did
Now,
the right
that
thing.
prospect might do business in a year, 2 years, 5 years, or 10. We don't really know. But that person was out here in the peripheral. Now they're in Darren's triangle. Okay. I would probably say, based on the conversation, somewhere in here. But Darren needs their number. He needs their address. He needs their email address. And then he needs to continually communicate with them. Right? Would you guys agree with that?
Yep.
Okay. Otherwise, he had one great phone call and the guy said, hey, I may sell my 40 acres. Or so the typical realtor would just sit there and hope in the next 5 years they get that call. If you do that, that's fine. You're definitely down in the 1 out of 10 of getting hired. I promise you. Darren's going to work this because he's like me, and when he sees a prospect, he's going to grab onto it and he's going to advance the relationship to the situation where when this guy does business, there's a high probability, much higher probability they will call him and hire him. You guys get that, right? Just because he says he's given 600 acres or $600,000 worth of land to somebody else doesn't mean that somebody else might not inherit that land and wish to sell it, right? So if Darren, if that ever transpires, this gentleman passes on, or this a family member gets that land, it might be good for Darren to ask and get to know that party as well. Okay, just something to think about. So, but what's happening as realtors is constantly 24/7, you're touching base and creating new relationships. Some of them are very peripheral. Some have the ability to really get into your world, like the one we're talking about. Okay, so as you're engaging the general public, be thinking about, is this a relationship that needs to get into my world at a higher level? If it is, put them in your funnel and start getting them into your database. You guys get that? Who right now has at least printed their database from some of the things we talked about lately? I know a few of you have because you shared it with me. Yeah. Has anybody taken the steps yet to do the exercise of green, yellow, or blue in your case? Green, yellow, and red? Okay, gotcha. So Now, the next step for any of you guys that have done that is take that example, and I'll do the math with you and monetize it just like we did in the class. So that will tell you, at least, it's just a number, guys, but it will tell you where you stand right now. Then you'll make it a conscious decision whether you're going to move these advances relationships or not. If you're Buffy in the roofing business, if you're Todd in the mortgage business, Title, I don't really care. Their world's exactly the same. Todd has a certain number of realtors in his world. Some he knows very, very much on the outside, and he probably has a 1 in 10 chance that they're going to call him to be the loan officer on their next sale. He probably has a lot in this category, and then he has a good number in this category as well because he has a lot of VIP agents. So every time he builds a new real estate agent relationship, he has to make a decision of, am I going to work on this relationship, or is it going to be a one and done? Is it going to be, hey, nice to meet you, enjoy taking your lunch, and just hopefully they call you someday? You get to make that decision. Your staff gets to make that decision. But I can tell you, it will not monetize at the level it has the ability to if you don't work on it, okay? Who's new to Raymore? You guys just moved to Raymore not too long ago, but you have connections to Kansas City and things like that. So you know a lot of people. You've got to figure out who the people are in your world and figure out, where do I stand honestly? If Ryan's going through his database, he's an honest guy, right? He's a Marine. He's gonna do a serious assessment as to where he stands in his relationships. He's not gonna fudge it and go, oh, I think that these people definitely going to hire me. If you do that, you'll probably be sorely mistaken. But you're in the same boat. You've got to quantify these people and figure out where they stand. Again, this is all about building sustainable businesses. So anyway, I was in an OP meeting last week, and we basically had a similar but different version of this with our agent base. Okay, we got 125 agents in the market center. Guess what happens? Agents fit into 3 categories: engaged at a high level. They fit into a category of partial engagement, and then we have non-engagement. Believe it or not, of 125 agents, we're going to have 40 or 50 that don't come to anything. They don't participate in any way. And I always wonder, when they sell a house, how in the hell did they do it? Okay. And then we hold their hand through the process. So that's our non-engaged people. So the challenge is at the market center level, how do we advance our people within our group? You guys get that? Now, if you're sitting here today, I will tell you, and if you're here on a regular basis, you're an engaged real estate agent. You're engaged in Keller Williams Southland and their training and their culture and all the things we stand for. So congratulations. If you're one of those people, this is the first meeting you've been at in 3 or 4 months and you're never on our calls and all that, you probably fit a little more in the partial category. And then obviously not engaged is something we have to work on. So agents fit into brokerage in the same fashion. Now, where I'm going with this is, we built this building. We had a vision for Southland in 2009 is when I joined. And when I started getting into leadership and ownership in 2011, 12, we had a vision. And our vision initially was so basic. It was like, how do we get to solvency? How do we get to a business where we're not writing a $10,000 check for a loss every month? So that was like the first step, right? And then finally we got to that point. Then we created a vision. And honestly, Bill Keeney and some people that you guys know, and Beth Franklin, they're just like, where do we take this? And they were so happy to be at that point. I think I was the one that really was pushing for a little bit bigger and better things. So I really put gas pedal down and built a facility and all these things. And the goal back then, honestly, is what if we ever got to 100 agents? What if we ever got to 50 of our 100 actually producing real estate? What if we had a facility that wasn't an embarrassment? Who was in our old office? Okay. And it wasn't as bad as it looked on the outside, but it did smell a little bit like mildew. So there's that. But Darren, you remember the old office, right? Okay. But just I was always like, how do we do this? How do we get to a better location? What would that look like? So that was our vision. And then over a period of time and a lot of risk and all those sorts of things, it all happened. You guys most of you didn't see the before, so you don't really appreciate the after. Have you ever went into somebody's house when they're like, oh, you walk in, you're like, it's okay. And then they're telling you all the work they did to get to that point. You're like, thank goodness I didn't see the before, right? You guys are in that same position in our world right now. So what we have to do now as Southland, is what Brandy and Caesar and I are kind of working on, is, we're excited. I mean, we had all these amazing statistics that were spit out last week as far as a small market center and our statistics, what we're producing, our productivity per agent, all those things were quite impressive, guys. So it's a credit to you. But now what? Okay. What do we do from here? Where do we go from here? Are we okay being what we are? I'm proud of what we are. And if we're what we are in 5 or 10 years as an amazing leader in this county with a great facility and a culture of people that all really collaborate together, I think that's a win. Now, knowing Brandy and Caesar and Brian and some of these, Tim and some of these people, they're probably going to want to raise the bar a little bit, if I had my guess. Is that safe to say? It's kind of how you guys roll. In fact, they're saying, get out of here so we can raise the bar. And that's okay too, believe me. So now let's ask a question, kind of given visions and how you execute on them. Where are you? Where are you in your real estate? Where's your vision? Are you back where we were in the smelly old office? Are you in your new facility and you risked a bunch of money to get here and now you have a legit thriving business? And where are you up here? I don't know where you're at. Give me some thoughts on where you think you are kind of in your journey. Sandy, where are you at?
Well, I still have a vision to grow.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. So you're kind of where the market center is in a way, you successful, established, predictable business, enjoying the ride, but you kind of want to continue to grow and learn and all that, right?
He's gonna hire an admin.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't like to lose control, so
Yeah.
has a trouble with that.
Yeah. A lot of people do. That's not a compliment. Anybody else? Come on, give me a few. Where do you think you're at in this trip? Ryan, where are you at? Okay. There you go.
Difficult part of the which is recommended to apply our old code Amber, and it helps mindset wise, because I think a lot of this business is mental. It's not very physical at all, very mental game. And so we're going through that, and I do believe there's a lot further that we can go, and I have a lot of work. So I'm getting ready to regroup, recollect our thoughts on what we want to do with our business over the course of the next month. And then we've got this leadership course down in Branson. We're going to go through that as well. And we're going to reassess our business and what pieces we're going to add and what we're going to take away and then start setting some goals. I know we're kind of headed into the goal setting season, so it's time.
Sure.
Does that start tomorrow morning? Yeah.
Yep.
So, but to answer your question, not satisfied. I mean, thriving business, we're happy when things are rolling along good. And the gain from where we started in 2013, when I walked into that stinky building over there, the office, get one by the way.
Yeah.
But
It's true.
gains from there, reflecting on that, monumental. Never thought I would go this far. Now I'm this far, and there's so much more to do still. So, I mean, keep pushing on. So that's why we got to continue to engage inside of this training room and other events, regional and national events.
Yeah. Well, where I'm going with this is I think everybody just needs to kind of self-inspect. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? Are you achieving more than you ever thought you could? Faster than you ever thought you could? There's a few of us in this office. I mean, it's like I pat you on the back. I mean, it's exciting, especially if you're doing it in spite of the market we've been in the last 3 years. You have no idea what the potential is. If you've seen a good market, not COVID market, but just a good solid market, this ain't it. Okay, this is just fair at best. So if we're doing okay as an office and you're doing okay as an agent, you should be jazzed and embracing all the things Caesar's bringing. By the way, Caesar's bringing more into our world than we've ever seen before at a higher level. We're bringing things in, honestly, that market centers that have a huge staffs, I'm not sure that's getting disseminated down to their agents the way it is here. There's advantages in our size, guys. There really is. Trisha, you've been with us now just a couple of years, and we had a lot of goals, and you're killing it. How do you? I mean, are you excited? Where do you feel like you're at in the journey? Thanks for putting me on the spot, Lonnie.
However, it panics me when I'm not in the same mode all the time. And so I struggle in the journey. I struggle like, oh, I have time. Like that's hard for me. So I get a little anxious, honestly, when it's not burning at 100 miles an hour. But I also know there's some things that I need to take time to learn to do that I kind of skipped over because things were running fast.
Yeah.
So there are things I need to go back and go, I need to figure out how to manage some of this myself. So.
Yeah. So maybe not just the amount of business you do, but how you do it and learning along the way and absorbing a little more of the process. Sounds like those are all opportunities for you a little bit. Anyway, I guess where I'm going, guys, everybody's in a different spot. I don't care if you've been in the business 1 year, 1 month, 10 years, 24, 20, 35, 50 years, however many Darren's been in the business. We're all in a different spot, but what's weird is some of the people that have been in it the longest are still the most anxious to get more and more information. Paul's been in the business a long time. He's the first guy to run down the whole AI thing. I mean, that's just that's a path he's fascinated with, which I think is really cool. You would think it would be one of our 20-somethings that was the first one to start just getting jazzed. It's quite the opposite, right? So I'll just kind of take us down one last path is, what we bring to the table. And let's talk about our brand a little bit. Keller Williams is amazing, changed my life. The things are on this wall. I think we need to start talking about these things a lot more. There's a lot of things that make us different. In fact, in my meeting last week, I'm like, we don't really use our swagger. Caesar puts out this amazing graphics for us. By the way, the graphics we put out are Cass County-based brokerages. So if anybody ever says, what the hell is this? How come office? I don't know. Is your office in Cass County? No. Okay. This is Cass County-based brokerages, period. We have accomplished in a lot of amazing things. We should have a little bit of a swagger without being, just completely over the top. You know people that brag like crazy? Does anybody have friends that do that? Family members, that kind of stuff? We've never been that. We'll never be that. Okay. Can you imagine Teresa Ziegler, who's so sweet? Can you imagine her go out there saying, we're kicking everybody's butt? That's not your style. Yeah, yes, but
Yeah, with a cheer kick.
But could she do this? Could she have on her social media posts, as we talk about different things to post? Could she talk about that amazing training she just had in her office with the top agents in the county, learning about this or learning about that? I just left a 1.5-hour meeting at the Southland Market Center with our wealth building club. We focus once a month on wealth building, not only for ourselves, but to help others do the same. That's a difference maker, okay? No offense to Crown, all these different companies, they're not doing that. They don't even understand the conversation, most likely. Reese Nichols, different. I mean, it's just so different. What you're involved in is a different kind of widget, okay? I think better widget, and I've been with other widgets, okay? I firmly believe that. We just had a girl cap Monday, Julie Snyder, who's a longtime friend of mine. She was with us in our infancy, smelly office time. And then she needed to join a brokerage in Harrisonville because her kids were in school down there. All cool, right? Well, guess what? She came back a few years ago. She's already back to capper status, just like that. So it's cool to see these journeys. But think about what we're different, because we're going to start tapping you guys for some of these questions. We're going to be asking you what you really like about what we do. And by the way, we will not hesitate to ask you, where do you think our biggest opportunities are? Because that's the way you get better, is you think about what you can improve upon. I don't geek out a lot on where I think what we need to work on so bad. I'm a big person that focuses on strengths. I like that a lot more. But I really think collectively, if we should be having a little bit more swagger than we do, given what you're doing in this market, given the way you conduct business, it is different than the people you're co-oping with. Trust me, it's totally different. You guys tell me the stories of these different agents. Devon will call me and go, do you know this lady? And it will be some horrific conversation and story. I'm like, God, we would never tolerate that. We just got out of business with an agent here in our office in the last 30 days. And at the end of the day, there was just not alignment on how we have to treat each other. This is an agent that doesn't do a lot of sales or anything like that, but it doesn't matter. I don't care who it is. If you're not in alignment with the way we do business, you don't work for us. You guys get that? That's different than the way this industry is run right now, where they're just looking for numbers and things like that. But with Brandy at the point, we can't make this thing grow and get stronger if we don't stick with these kind of tenets and principles. You guys get that? See these on the board: customer always comes first, integrity, do the right thing, win-win or no deal. We don't talk about that like we used to, but I think it's time to start thinking that way a little bit. Does anybody have anything to add to that and how we're different? I'd love to just hear one or two ahas there. Just me? Yeah, D?
Before I came here, 11 years ago, I think, when I had my own company. And I was gonna have to co-op with somebody on a deal. I was always happy when it was someone from KW, any of the offices. It just worked different. I didn't understand it then because I wasn't here yet. But, people see it. I think other agents see it. I told an agent last night from a different KW office that showed one of my properties. I said, please write me an offer. I'd love to work with a KW agent. And that's always true.
Yeah, that's
Always
good.
better.
I like that. I like that. Who else? Anybody got anything? Yeah.
Our values, and that's on the right hand side, I don't know if everybody sees it in the corner here, above here, God, family, and vengeance. And I don't think we talk enough about that either. It's okay, we take time off, because there are more important things than business. They certainly agree with us that their job is not the most important thing in their life. And that's perfectly okay. We take our business very seriously, but not 24/7. There are way more important things that we need to take care of. And if we don't, our business will fall apart and it won't happen. So it's okay to stress those values of how we operate within our business, how you operate yours. Share that with your clients. And if they're not aligned with that, maybe those aren't your clients. Maybe those aren't your people. And you get rid of crazy. I don't know, but sometimes you deal with it because you just need to do the thing. But again, it's okay to share with people how your value system is within your business.
Yeah. So you'll start seeing us talk a lot more about this going forward. Brandy and I had a conversation about it earlier in the week. So hopefully that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable or anything. By the way, we used to, at the old Smelly office, we would actually go through this and we would go win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing. We spent a lot of time just to make it kind of fresh on your mind. So yeah, Tony.
It matters that folks that help us do that as well.
By all means. Yeah.
I had that situation on Friday. Did 5 minutes of closing. We're closing now. And so, and I got your office, I got a phone with them, and also guys, back off the legs, which is fine. And we closed Friday. That was Thursday, closed Friday.
Good.
So they were well, but just being able to sit down with the absolute powers that be and walk through a situation makes it so much.
Love it. Thanks for sharing that. That's important. That's really last one.
And I'm working with a non-color waste agent immediately, pretty much, when I get an offer or whatever. And so when you start getting screened at, I've always noticed that I kind of lose service. And then from that point on.
That dead spot.
Oh, dead spot.
Or email.
Yeah.
I will not take a call from them again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
I get the meeting on the top of my hand out.
Right, right. Well, anyway, we'll wrap up. I appreciate you guys and your time, but be thinking about those things. As you see things that we put out there, think about if that's something you want to put out in your social media and things like that. But we're gonna start telling our story a little bit differently, guys. And I'm gonna try not to push the brag button too much, but some of it'll be just bragging on you if you're okay with that. But the people should know that we're not just a real estate company. We do things differently. Everyone now in the world has heard of Keller Williams as the largest single brand on the planet and still is. Nothing's changed. But what I care about even more than that is how Southland operates within that arena. You guys cool with that? That's our secret sauce. That's all I got for you today.
All right. And we're done. All right.
A smattering of applause. That's all you could ever ask.
All right. All right. Well, we got about 10 minutes until lunch in there. No, it's fine. It's good.
It's on that.
Hi, okay, so I signed Jake and I up for the lunch thing at half AM. In Lacey for a show. So somebody has to work me on this now. I'm sure we'll find it too bad that that's okay.